do that before. We just don't happen to do it now. This is one meaningless blather from him. The truth is, Newsom actually cares about what Xi thinks. Because, remember, he's going to need TikTok influencers to boost his future political ambitions, and he's going to need the pro-China donors from hedge funds and Silicon Valley on his side as well. This requires making Xi's date feel very special. And ditto for the Biden campaign, which is hoping to win over China to reassure Wall Street and to get their concrete pledges on climate change. Now, the entire purpose of this meeting with China is to get a smiling photo op and to signal to the money class here that we want a new era of collaboration with China. Now, how do you think Taiwan is feeling these days? And just as San Francisco Democrats are trying to paper over the suffering and the blight that they incentivize, so too have the liberals in D.C. If you've been here lately, tent cities are growing, and so is open-air drug use. The place has spiraled into a sea of violence and criminality, especially carjackings and car.
I mean, you look at some of these Democrat-run cities, and they're absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. I mean, you literally had a president now I'm forgetting where he's from. Argentina. Crap, I can't think of it. But someone who is a leader of a second world country, right, said that he preferred not to live in one of these Democrat-run cities and would prefer to live back home where he's from. And he's from like a second world country, which is just crazy to even think about. This is America we're talking about. But then when you look at, some of these big Democrat-run cities, they're absolutely garbage. Garbage. You got high crime, right? Streets are just absolutely filthy. It's ridiculous. I mean, the crime alone is enough to stay away from these places. I mean, you look at some of these places in California, you literally can't leave your stuff in your car. People have literally just left their windows down and open, so when the criminals drive by, they can just look in and say, oh yeah, they ain't got nothing, we can just keep driving. Like, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous, and the fact that people have just grown accustomed to that in some places, it's just wild to me. No, this is my stuff. You don't touch it. I don't need to show you anything. Who will call folks like me extremists. Right.
Break-ins.
15 and 16-year-olds are facing a number of charges connected to a string of armed carjacking.
When it comes to carjacking and stuff like that, it happens so much. It's sad.
D.C. is under siege, and we need help.
Stop voting Democrat.
So, hearing all this, why wasn't anyone surprised by this story?
The Secret Service is saying that just before midnight last night in the Georgetown neighborhood of Washington, D.C., right outside Naomi Biden's apartment building, that's one of the granddaughters of President Biden, the Secret Service encountered what they believe were 3 people breaking a window of a parked, unmarked, and unoccupied government vehicle. They say an agent discharged their service weapon. Secret Service says that the offenders immediately fled when seen in a red vehicle.
Now, the first thing that crossed my mind was, what would have happened had a regular citizen shot at those criminals? Well, which will happen to be in jail right now. Was the Biden granddaughter's life actually in danger? Well, that is what the Secret Service is saying. Glad everyone is okay. The sad reality is this. Just as we saw with the migrants shipped to Martha's Vineyard and, of course, to Manhattan, the elites are often able to ignore the problems that the rest of America deals with, but when they arrive on their doorstep, they're suddenly forced to answer questions or deal with the consequences. And even if the answers they give are pathetic.
And as always, we always getting some old sorry-ass fucking answers from these sorry-ass fuckers that we allowing them fucking run our motherfucking corporation in the motherfucking shitter. It's a fucking shame when you think about it.
Hundreds of doors across
Bitch, man, I pressed you off there, bitch. Fucking commercial.
The president has taken action to make sure our communities
are safer. Are we concerned? Obviously. Obviously, we want to make sure Americans and their families feel safe, and not just here in D.C., but across communities. But we can't do this alone. We need Congress to act. Okay, if the voters are okay with those types of foolish answers, then they're going to continue to get bad results. So let's hope from coast to coast, the awakening has begun.
I think it has. I really do. I really do think it has in 2024 when Trump is re-elected as president of the United States of America. And then from there, it's only, is it uphill? No, that's downhill? That doesn't sound right. It's only smooth sailing from there. I was going to say downhill, but I was like, no, that doesn't sound right. Uphill doesn't sound right either, just like you're pushing.
And that car is securely warehoused. Come back and log on to SecureServe if you want to take a pass at another.
In my humble opinion, will be reelected as president. It's just a matter of time at this point, right? Now, show up and do your part, because that at this point in time, that's the only way I see Trump losing, is if we just get relaxed and too comfortable, and we don't show up and do our part on election day, or even before election day. Honestly, I think some people should do it before election day. I don't think everybody should show up on election day, but that's a bad idea. It's a lot easier to, catch my drift, right? So the only way that Trump loses is if we don't show up, because, we got it in the bag, Trump's gonna win. That's when he'll lose. So don't get comfortable. Still do your part. Take a friend. You guys know the whole nine. I don't need to go over it. Take a friend. Seriously, take a friend. Our country depends upon it. This is not just a saying. Take a friend with you. Okay? But, like I said, it's just a formality. So, on top of that, once he's in office, then it becomes, okay, now it's time to reform the Congress and Senate with individuals like the Matt Gaetz of the world, right? Like the Byron Donalds of the world, the Jim Jordans, okay? And I believe that process will be amplified while he's in office, because he'll understand who's actually for him, who's against him. He's already been through it. He can see the snakes in the grass. He's going to keep it cut low. People like Matt Gaetz are going to be probably in his ear, letting him know, like, this guy, hey, he's the right guy, this isn't the right guy. Byron Donalds, as well, as we saw all the images not very long ago of Byron Donalds, literally wherever Trump was, Byron was. That went on for like 2 months. It was crazy. It was crazy. Wherever Trump was, Byron was pretty close behind, you know? It was wild to see. Cool to see as well. But you'll have all of these individuals in his ear letting him know, hey, this guy over here, yeah, that's the guy you want. This is the guy you need in that position. And I think the McCarthy, or the Kevin McCarthy's of the world, the Mitch McConnells,
Okay, the work's been done. Take the car to the buyer and don't let another organization get in the way.
Will be voted out. And Trump will help ensure that by putting all these people on blast, on Front Street, right? Letting the voters know, that's the way that I see it's going to play out. Y'all let me know in the comment section below if you agree. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm a little too optimistic. I don't think so. I believe this is 100% possible, right? Especially Trump getting elected, 100%. And we've already saw people like Matt Gaetz and, the Freedom Caucus do their job. So I think it's more than possible. The Josh Hawleys of the world, standing up for, true conservative Republicans. So that's the way I see it all playing out. And now that you have stuff like, these Democrats only doing something when foreign leaders come around, they're only doing something when it's at their doorstep, and it's on their street where their family has to be, has to be confronted with it, doing something, right? I think people see that. People aren't blind to it, right? You guys share the videos, and thank you. Continue to share these videos, because people need to see this stuff. And mainstream media, especially leftist mainstream media, isn't going to talk about this this. So a lot of the Democrats that vote for this crap don't see this. Okay? So it's up to us to get the message out and to let them know. These folks don't care about you. But you know who does? Uncle Trump. What's on with? Let me know what you thought about this one in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, and hit that subscribe button before we go. Peace and love.
Well done out there. The money's in the bank.